Painting a mural is totally different than painting on canvas. If I've got a 6-foot head that I'm painting, when you're looking up close, it's very impressionistic looking. It's almost like I have to paint abstract forms to create a realistic image. So I have to think about the big picture and the details all at the same time.
It's a mental dance that muralist Pamela Bliss has perfected over the years. From Hoagie Carmichael in Richmond to the jazz legends of Indiana Avenue in Indianapolis, she's painted more than 50 murals throughout the state. Each one starts simply enough, with a design, a yardstick, and a pencil. Oh, and in the case of her latest project, a really big blank wall.
I've really wanted to paint on this wall for many years. It just so happened that the Jafari family was wanting a mural and was looking for me, and so it kind of came together.
So, this wall in Indianapolis, at the corner of Delaware and Michigan, will serve as Bliss's latest canvas. It's also her tallest, which, believe it or not, poses a bit of a problem.
I am petrified of heights. Once I start painting on it, then it's just like a no-brainer. I've gotten to the point where I can zone out, because sometimes, like on this one, I'm 60 feet in the air. And so I have to think about something other than not dying. But for some reason, the lift is different. I can control it to make sure it's close enough to the wall that if it falls over, it's just a control thing.
Over a course of a couple months in the fall of 2018, this iconic image of Pacers great and NBA Hall of Famer Reggie Miller will take shape. After the layout is finished, Bliss starts at the very top, largely to keep gravity from pulling wet paint into the previous day's work. And as she works her way down, she's always keeping the bigger picture in mind.
This is more than, a picture of Reggie. It's about Indiana pride and coming together.
It's a sense of responsibility that Bliss feels in all of her work.
When I'm doing a subject, I want to know if it's correct. Like, for instance, I did the Kurt Vonnegut mural on Mass Ave. He's just a figure standing there, but I read so much about him, and I wanted to get his personality. I think that the extra research that I put in really benefited that mural, because a lot of people don't know that they have this history in their own hometowns. Public art is in everyone's face every day. It's not like they go to a museum and they go see that art. It's in their life, and it becomes their truth. And I want to make sure that I install the correct truth.
In some places, like Bliss's hometown of Richmond, murals, many of them her own, have become tourist attractions, economic drivers in their own right.
Public art does a lot more than just make a wall pretty.
She's become one of the state's most sought-after muralists.
One of my teachers in high school said I could not paint, so I didn't until I was about 30 years old. So I took a 4-day workshop to learn how to paint a portrait. I thought, well, I know I can't paint, but at least I want to create some heirlooms for my kids.
Clearly, she's done much more than that, and not just as a muralist. A few years ago, Bliss got word that a film company was looking for painters. Intrigued, she answered the call and sent off some samples. To her surprise, she got a response.
Then they sent me this email saying that I was selected. It was just like that. That was too easy for me. And I'm like, okay, this is that Nigerian prince trying to get my information,
The email was legit, and a few weeks later, she was headed to Poland. The surprises weren't over.
I guess I really didn't know what to expect. I thought I was going to be painting big backdrops for the movie.
Instead, she and more than 100 other artists hand-painted the imagery for the 2017 Oscar-nominated film, Loving Vincent.
It took 12 painted frames for 1 second of film.
The patience and attention to detail required for that project isn't all that different than the skills required to paint a mural. By mid-October, Bliss had brought all her skills to bear on her latest piece and was putting on the finishing touches. The impact is undeniable. The top of the ball is 6 stories off the ground. Reggie's iconic sweatband alone is 3 feet tall. And it's already drawing a crowd.
I like it that people are drawn to the art. the piece, but I'd rather for people to know my work and, you know, not necessarily me.
A very private, public artist, creating heirlooms for Hoosiers, one wall at a time.